You have a really iconic quote that means a lot to me, which made me feel really optimistic. The idea that history shows that dictatorships fall. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
They do. I think it is just so easy to get overwhelmed by um, dictatorships and by things going wrong in whatever society that we live in. And we feel overwhelmed. We are stuck in a black hole and we feel like there's no air, there's nothing but darkness. But I have been a political prisoner. I have been in the darkest, lowest place that you can possibly get, a place of no dignity, a place of absolute abandonment, a place where the world didn't give a damn what happened to me, a place where my family gave up on me. So when you have been there, you kind of realize that anything that goes down either dies, which is a fact of life, or comes up. As long as you're alive, the sun is going to come up tomorrow. If you live in a dictatorship today, it doesn't need to be the case tomorrow.
For those that haven't been lucky enough to hear your story, can you just give a pretty short synopsis of what you went through when you were a teenager, right?
Yeah, I was your average teenager in Iran, and then the revolution happened, and the king was overthrown. And in a country where we had personal freedoms, it became religious dictatorship. So having fun became illegal. And we rebelled. We were put in jail. So thousands of us ended up in prison. We were tortured. Some of us were raped. And many were executed and buried in mass graves. And here I am. I'm 51. Many of my friends died when they were 15. And that means that I'm responsible. I'm a survivor. I'm a witness. And I have to carry the weight. And you know what? I might as well do it with a smile. I mean, it sucks, but it does.
At least you're in a position to have that responsibility, right? That's one of the lessons that I love hearing from everyone here, really, is that if you're not in prison, if you're not in a bad situation right now, then it's our jobs to fight for those people every day, because not fighting for them is helping the bad guys.
Nothing has changed. All the changes in Iran have been cosmetic. So it's all on the surface. And yes, it looks prettier, but there are still women who are put in prison in Iran because they dared to put their picture without the hijab on Facebook. There are still women, housewives, being put in Iran because on Facebook they said that the government of Iran is a little too Islamistic. You know, in a country where the testimony of a woman today is worth half of a man, can that be a freedom? Can that be a democracy when half of the population is worth half of the rest? Where a religious minority is worth half of a Muslim? That kind of society cannot ever call itself unless it changes its constitution, it changes its laws. And Iran will get there, but when, that's the question.
So one of the things that we're trying to figure out is what tools activists use right now, and what new tools and technology do you think would help give more power to the individual in fighting very powerful regimes?
The people that I contact in, let's say, in Iran, I'm always worried that I'm putting them in danger. So even if a tool I'm told is safe today, I'm always worried that if that person is caught, because Iran has put billions of dollars into cyber hacking, getting to the dissidents. It's just this cat and mouse game. And it's always about trying to beat them, trying to stay ahead of them. And I mean, you need people who are, because I'm not an expert on that, you need the people who are experts, so to make sure that we keep that cutting edge.